Top Gun is an action movie about fighter pilots flying fighter jets and dogfighting and no air conditioning and aviators and riding bikes, but what was perhaps most iconic and talked about was the volleyball scene and just how gay it was. Hey, it's not just me saying it. Numerous articles have been written about how it helped with the sexual awakening of many gay dudes. Oh, and the director, Tony Scott, said that he didn't have a vision of what he was doing other than just doing soft porn. Wait, let me back up. So it's the mid-80s and Tom Cruise is a rising star.
Who was that guy?
In 1986, he makes two movies, The Color of Money and Top Gun. In The Color of Money, he plays a supporting role to Paul Newman, and this movie, adjusted for inflation, grosses $355 million on a $42 million budget. In Top Gun, Cruise was top billed, and this movie grossed a little over $1 billion on a $45 million budget, adjusted for inflation. But as his fame continued to rise, he had to fight an enemy in real life that was more persistent than the villains he took down in his movies. He was plagued by accusations of being a closeted homosexual.
You're stepping over a line.
He sued the Daily Express for alleging that his marriage to Nicole Kidman was to cover up for him being gay.
You want to know. Take responsibility for what you want to know.
More speculations by tabloids followed, and so did Cruise's lawsuits against them.
Put your manners back in.
And then he played a gay vampire, and that did not help. All of this is to say is that Tom Cruise is a staunch defender of his heterosexuality, so you can imagine my surprise when, 36 years after that iconic gay beach volleyball scene, Cruise made a sequel to Top Gun, and he added a very similar shirtless beach scene. Was he not worried about the gay rumors resurfacing? But here's the thing, the beach scene in Maverick is not gay. And that is what I want to talk about here. Why was one scene with shirtless dudes playing a sport on the beach gay, while a similar scene in Maverick with shirtless dudes playing a sport on the beach not gay? The answer lies in how they were filmed. So let's take a look, shall we? And to avoid any confusion, I will refer to the 1986 original as Top Gun and the follow-up as Maverick. First, let's talk about shot length. How long the scenes are depends on when you start and stop measuring. For me, I'll measure the scene for as long as Tom Cruise remains in it. The two scenes are almost identical in length, at roughly 1 minute 17 seconds each, but Maverick's has 62 shots. 50% more than that of Top Gun's 42. As a result, the average shot length for Top Gun is 1.8 seconds, while Maverick's is just under 1.2 seconds. So why does average shot length matter? Because one effect this has is that of intent. If your intention is for the audience to gaze at something, you do not cut away, or you cut away less. You hold the camera for longer. Take for example the opening shots of each scene. Both feature men shot from the back. In Top Gun, we see a close-up of a sweaty back of a man. The camera is so close that the body part is almost removed from context. We might not even know whose back this is. The opening of Mavericks shows us a man's back from a distance, and we see his whole body. Then there is not one but two very quick cuts, each progressively getting closer, and the last cut not even showing the same person. And the figures are silhouetted. We are meant to understand that this is a man on a beach, but little more. In Top Gun, the lens loiters lecherously over his subjects, while in Maverick, it flips rapidly from person to person. And speaking of the camera asking the audience to gaze at his subjects, let's talk about slow motion. Out of Top Gun's 42 shots, a little over half, at 52%, are slow motion shots. In Maverick, only 30% of the shots are in slow motion. The slow-mo shots beckon the viewer to look at what is happening. Look closely. Here, I'll slow it down for you. There is also an oniric, intrinsic, or hypnotic quality to slow motion. We are being asked to not think, but feel. But the numbers don't tell the whole story. Next, let's explore the purpose of each scene. What is the purpose of the volleyball game in Top Gun and the football game in Maverick? In Top Gun, it is to show rivalry. Maverick and Goose have to beat Iceman and Slider in the volleyball game. This is an extension of their rivalry in the air.
What's your problem, Kazansky? You're everyone's problem.
So in Top Gun, we have to see how formidable each person is, how formidable the protagonists and antagonists are. Look at their power, gaze upon their muscles. But this scene is not entirely necessary, right? Like, we know about the feud between Maverick and Iceman, and the scene doesn't have an arc. They start out as rivals and end as rivals. There's no transformation. But in Maverick, the purpose of the scene is different, and one might say antithetical to that of Top Gun's. Maverick's game serves to show teamwork, bonding, and cohesion. The characters need to play this game to bond. It serves the plot. We're shown people playing the game with such rapid intercutting that it becomes a blur. In a lot of the shots, the people are silhouetted, symbolizing team cohesion, where no one stands out and each person is an undifferentiated member of a whole unit or team. Shots that focus on the individual are present but less frequent. As such, in Top Gun, the scene is mostly just aesthetic. In Maverick, it is utilitarian and necessary. They even get to work in a character beat here where Goose's son helps Maverick up. Just brilliant. Next, framing. In Maverick, there are often more people in the frame. More people pass behind and in front of the frame, and more people occupy it. We still have shots of individuals in all their muscled up glory, but they are interspersed with frenetic movement in crowded scenes. We get fewer opportunities to hold our attention on one person. In Top Gun, we see shots where people are isolated in the frame, standalone, as if for display. And even what we're looking at is different in the two scenes. In Top Gun, there are only men playing, but in Maverick, we have not one, but two women on the team. So now the viewer is not being asked to only look at a bunch of guys, but women too. The women here, however minimal their presence, changes what we are looking at. And it's not just what the audience is looking at, but whom the audience is looking through. In Top Gun, we, the audience, are directly observing the players. But see, 10 seconds into Maverick's scene, we see Penny, played by Jennifer Connelly, looking at the men playing and ogling Maverick. So the scene is quickly framed through a heteronormative lens. We are not the ones watching this, we are watching a woman watch all of this. And finally, in Top Gun, the characters look like they are aware of being watched, and so they move as if to be seen. But in Maverick, since there is no rivalry, they're just having fun. Although the players are as sculpted in Maverick as they are in Top Gun, in the former, they seem more at ease in their bodies. I think the differences in how these two scenes were filmed are an incredibly fascinating case study in editing, composition, story, theme, and essentially capture what filmmaking is all about. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, give me a like and subscribe if you haven't, and let me know your thoughts. Thanks for watching.
Cut, print, gay.